Did it really start? Holy shit.
Yeah, there it goes. I do that. Ready? Hey, kids!
Hey, kids. We're having technical difficulties. We're on location again, as you can tell, at the second studio.
We should just pan this to the side at the end of it so you can see the wall that we've talked about a bunch.
We can do that. We're at Jake's house today, the backup studio.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no sponsorship today, but if you could do us a favor. We've been doing this for a minute. We just looked back at we did a retrospective.
Cataloged a bunch of
and cataloged everything we've actually been doing because we have so much now we can't remember what we've done because we're old. And anywho, we want to keep doing this, and we'd like to do it on a little bigger scale. So if you really enjoy even the first 2 minutes, which is more there to go, but even the second, just because you like the way we look or don't like the way we look, just if you could, I don't know what it is on there, but if you could hit the like, and we would really dig a subscription. If you want to subscribe, it doesn't cost you anything. And you get to get notifications when we show up and do whatever we're doing. And what we're tasting and stuff you may not know exists because some of the stuff I don't know exists. And then he shows up with it. I'm like, let's go. So if that's the kind of thing you're into, hit the subscribe as well as the like. We would appreciate it. That would help us and hopefully it'll help you. But that being said, we're not going to do any sponsorship today. So that was the sponsor. We're sponsoring ourselves today on this one. We got a little something here. And I'm going to let him do his thing.
That's a good one, man.
Because he knows way more about it than I do. Finish this little topper up.
Yeah, our little starter. We did a little Buffy trace to wet the whistle before we jumped into this. These are heavy pours. So in front of us,
to get me drunk.
Yeah, we've got the single Rickhouse from last year because it's the closest thing that I have that we can compare in both price and age to Russell's 15. This is the 15-year release from Russell's that just dropped all over Central Florida, and it's dropped in mass.
Except me.
Yeah, except you.
Except my store.
Most places I know that are getting it by the case. Like they are getting
Sweet
a ton of it. MSRP I want to say is like $250. They've tried to sell this through the website now twice through the Wild Turkey website, and both times I've had multiple friends try to buy it, and the website's crashed. Can't even get to check out. Like it's just unattainable. This one, man, I'm giving away all the secrets today. This one walked into a Walgreens liquor store here in Central Florida.
Front door.
Right. So this came from Walgreens, where they also had a bunch of Stag.
How did you find that?
I think they had an old Fitz 10 they were selling. Anyway, it was a little marked up. I paid a little over SRP. This was $2.99 out the door, but I wasn't mad about it. That's way cheaper than I've seen it anywhere else. I didn't have to buy a package. I didn't have to buy a case of Wheatley vodka. I didn't have to. There's all kinds of weird stuff.
But you might have to buy a case of wine for the wife.
Yeah. She's actually about to walk through the door, and she doesn't know I bought this yet, and she's not going to be pumped. So.
Oh, you got it for $100? Good deal.
Yeah, no, I found it on the doorstep. So we're going to do it against the Russells. A lot of guys are going to compare it against the Russell's 13, and I can understand why. The Russell's 13 at the time was the highest age-stated Russell's product. This is now the 15 being the highest age-stated. But it just doesn't compare when you're talking about SRP. The Russell's 13 is still hovering around that 130, 140 range. This is double that. And so I know it's only 2 years older, marked as limited release, but I just don't think it's a fair comparison. Similar, because we did the Russell's 13 against a single Rick, and we both said the single Rick is delicious, but not at that price. I'll take the 13 over it all day long, and I think we're going to run into something similar here. So let's talk stats, right? Russell's 15.
I'm talk color. The color.
Oh, the color's outrageous.
The color.
That's coming through the camera.
I don't know what's going to come through the camera, but
so
it's ridiculous.
Dark.
It'll make you hot for it. I'm gonna tell you.
I'm gonna leave out the proof because Ed likes to guess the proof, but I will say that it is higher than some of these other releases have been, which is cool. It's good to see that they kept some proof in these bottles. They didn't water them down and try to mass produce a ton of them.
I can't remember when we did that, so I have no idea what the proof was on that one either.
So let's start with the Rickhouse. All right, we've done the Rickhouse before. We all know I love the part of the Rickhouse that I remember loving intensely is the turkey funk. Super turkey on the nose, and that there's a white pepper note on the palate, which I very much enjoy.
I just got something weird when I smelled it the first time.
Fabulous. Turkey through and through.
Oh, it's so good. It goes right into the nasal passages.
This bottle's about a year old, and it's got a lot of air on it. It'll probably die this year, honestly, the way that we kind of attack it because it's so delicious. But this one's coming in right around 112 proof. Non-age stated, so we don't know how old it is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Quintessential turkey funk. No Kentucky hug, no constriction.
Heat in the face, though. In the back of the.
Oh, it's got that 112 proof point is great.
It doesn't taste 112.
No, it drinks way lower.
I was gonna lower it. I was gonna go like 105.
Yeah, no,
107. I was gonna do like 107.
But it's turkey profile with a really cool kind of white pepper back, and I like that a lot because it's different than most other turkey
Reminds me
stuff.
a little bit on the pepperback, a little bit of the 1776, or no, the Black Dirt.
Oh yeah, I think you actually made that same comparison last time we drank it, bro.
Probably. Go back and look.
Yes,
it's there.
Stuck in your brain.
We should have known what show it was to tell you.
You saw me take the wrapper off this live. I've never had it. I did buy 1 ounce sample. I actually pick it up tomorrow. I was waiting to grab the sample before I reached out and got a bottle, but I was telling Ed before this video kicked off, this was like the third one that kind of fell in my lap this week. And I just...
Is this the best price out of all three of them?
I actually don't know what the other 2 prices were because I just said, no, I don't want, I'm not interested. And then it kind of popped in my lap and I was like, man.
I'm already in love. I don't have to taste it. I know it's good.
I've seen a couple other reviews on it. I know a lot of the other whiskey tubers are in love with it. They're calling top 5 whiskey of the year and all that fun stuff. Keep in mind, Jack 14 is supposed to come out this year, so I reserve top 5 whiskey of the year for that because I'm a Jack whore.
If it's even this much better than the 12, I'd bet.
It's going to be phenomenal. Yeah. The nose is pretty subtle.
Good fruit, though.
Super fruity.
Right? The first hit I got was just fruit.
Yeah, very fruity.
Right?
Yep. Not over oaked. I'm not getting like smacked in the face with oak. It's like a sweet oak. It's definitely there. Definitely got some age on it. It's getting a little bit of that tobacco-y, leathery,
you can smell it.
Old whiskey nose that you get on that stuff when you get up around that 15-year range. Not proofy. I'm not getting any ethanol. Yeah, solid nose. Very fruity. Very excited. Hopefully it drinks the same. Cheers.
Salute, my friends. Ooh. There's the oak.
There's the oak.
There's the oak. Woo.
Wow.
That's like biting into a piece of oak.
But the finish is
finish is great. That was oak.
Still building.
You went from fruit to oak.
The nose is very fruity and very turkey. The palate is very oaky.
Whoa.
That is very oaky.
Like you, and I'm not saying this in a bad way. You're out with your friends, having a little bonfire, and the wind shifts.
Yeah.
And you get a mouthful of that while you eat your hot dog.
It's still sweet.
Yeah, it's good.
It's definitely got some sweetness, a little vanilla, but it's not as
took me by surprise, for sure.
sugary sweet
No.
as younger stuff is. It's definitely that aged whiskey profile. So it's
Now smell.
a little more of that tobacco leathery,
Now you can
drying.
Now you can smell a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. It actually did change the nose slightly. Still fruity though. Still
The
dark.
smell.
It's still dark stone fruit, pitted fruit.
Yeah, no. I would say a hint of oak, and then wet leather or leather. Obviously, it's wet, but leather. Yeah,
Pulling air through it.
leather. Yeah.
I get that turkey note. It's not as pronounced as the Rickhouse is, which is very interesting. And I wonder if it's kind of aging out in this older stuff. But it's not as crazy turkey funk as I would have expected at something this old. Very, very good. Significantly different than the 13 to me.
Oh yeah.
It, like the nose is the fruity nose, the oak that you're getting on the palate. The finish lasts forever. God, that finish is just hanging out forever.
Viscous. I love that word.
Yeah, thick and oily, and if you're not a fan of old whiskey, if you're not a fan of that drying, oaky, leathery, tobacco-y,
What's wrong with you then? No.
right? Yeah, sea
Oh,
kelp.
maybe a little tobacco and leather.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's super common in these
Yes.
older bottles.
And turkey
And
in
but
general.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's very drying. It's drying oak for sure.
Yeah.
Give it a proof guess, because I'm really interested to hear what your proof guess is, considering the way it drinks. Because that drink's pretty dang smooth. Like that drink's real easy. It's not getting me here. I'm not getting any indigestion
117.
on the nose. I think 117.
Shut
I think it's 117 too. 117.2.
Back, baby. I'm back, baby.
COVID didn't destroy your.
It did destroy a lot of shit.
Now,
In full disclosure, I already knew what this was, and he said it was higher than that. So I was kind of trying to
it's
base.
kind of edging there.
But how high was it over?
But here, the world famous question: are either one of these bottles worth damn near $300? And this one was $300, and this was damn near $300. I don't know. I don't know. I
Well,
can't say because
Can you can you get this good on a cheaper bottle? That's the real question. And
You
if
definitely.
the answer is yes, then no, it's not worth it.
I haven't had anything this complex with a finish like that in a long, long time, especially around that 117 proof point.
What about the Master's Keeps? What are those run?
They're around the same now. They're around $300. I mean, that's what you're paying for. The latest Master's Keep that came out was a 10-year rye, and to get it shipped from Wild Turkey the day it dropped was like $330. I mean, it's the exact same. That's a 10-year rye, where this is a 15-year bourbon. So it's the kind of the way of the world right now with these high-end whiskeys that price is creeping up, and whether or not it's worth the value to you is going to kind of lie in.
It went and then finally dropped into the tum-tum. That it's
coming
back like
now you're getting it.
You just ate at Taco Bell with every sauce they have. If that makes sense.
A lot of the reviews that I saw on this did say that, man, that finish is so damn good.
It's good.
It does have a spicy
finish. A lot going
finish.
on, though. It's a lot going on.
The spicy finish is interesting, though. It's not spicy like Stag Junior is spicy to me, where it gives me indigestion and it hits me in the chest.
It's a little rye spicy.
It's kind of rye and peppery.
Yeah.
Which is good. I like it. I like that pour. I'm not mad about the way the whiskey tastes.
Oh, that last one was good.
The last one was great. $300 though. I think I probably again MSRP is like $250 plus tax. So I overpaid by $50.
What would you be if you could price it yourself? What would you think would be an acceptable price for the taste?
Man, this is such a tough question. It's so loaded because there's a lot that goes into having a bottle like this, right? Is it very expensive? Absolutely. But when you break it down by the ounce, it's 26 ounces. So you're talking $12 a pour. Is less than is what I paid. I paid, what is that, 11?
And the next question is, you're at the bar, would you be upset paying $12 a
Correct. So I paid $11 a pour to have this in my house, and there's no way you're paying that in a bar. This is $30, $40 all day long. So when you break it down in that way, I'm not mad about it. When I look across my collection, though, and I think about the bottles that I have in this price range, how does it stack up? How would you compare this to like an E.H. Taylor barrel proof? Because the last one we got, we paid a shade over $200 for, or the single Rick, or the Willet Purple Top, or some of the higher SRP bottles we have.
I would be better on this than the other Rickhouse you said.
I agree. I like the white pepper note that's in here, but that's a one-hit wonder. That's kind of all I get out of it. Where this is just really old turkey. It's great. I mean, if you are a Wild Turkey fan, you will love this. It's going to give you something a little different. That pepper finish and the super long finish is different than any other turkey product I have.
It's still going.
Yeah. It hangs out for a while.
And you know what? It dried, and then I got wet again, and then it dried. Although I think I had a drink, but that's not the point.
The single Rick is definitely sweeter. Finish is nowhere near as long. You're not getting those age notes. And this is a really good Russell's product. It's a really good turkey product. I like that white pepper flavor.
In full disclosure, though, night and day.
Yeah, 100%.
Like when you're comparing. I don't know if it's even really fair to compare the two, but
from a cost perspective, they're roughly the same price. So when you're comparing, my wife just came home and she didn't walk through the door. She went to go get the mail. From a cost perspective, they're damn near the same from an SRP product standpoint. This is in a completely different league. Just so for when you see the single Rickhouses that continue to drop, they're going to keep this line going. They had another one drop this year from a different Rickhouse. They're going to keep running that promotion, that campaign. I think the 15 at the same price point kills it. Absolutely kills it. I think that's significantly more complex. You can really taste the age on it. It's giving me way more interesting drink points than I'm getting out of the single Rick.
I agree.
Yeah,
but that's great too.
Again, they're independently. If you just poured these up blind, you didn't know what they were, or what they cost. They're great. They're wonderful. If we had thrown these into blinds, they're going to finish in the top 5 out of whatever we pour, because they are really, really good. But all things considered, when you take things into account, like price and availability and how quick can you drink through the damn thing, it's going to be tough for a lot of people to pull the trigger on that. I will tell you right now, I've seen the secondary on this. It started around $650 and it's leveled out around $500.
But what will happen is if they're dropping that many per drop,
yeah,
then as soon as those are Elegano, it'll go
Well, it depends on how the market responds to the bottle.
True.
So the Rickhouses were great when they dropped, right? And everybody likes the bottle. There's no secondary on these.
Really?
Doesn't exist. Secondary on these is maybe $40 more than MSRP. Does everybody like the bottle? Absolutely.
What about the other Rickhouse?
I don't know on the new one. I actually haven't.
No, the other one we had. We have another one like that one going.
No, you mean Russell's 13, like the 13s?
No, didn't we get another one?
They came out with another one. We never got it.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was asking David to come.
It's a red label, right?
No, it's the same label. It's just a different. This is Camp Nelson, and the newer release is a different Rickhouse on property. So
yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
always be right, kids.
I think at SRP it's 100% buy on site. I think anything under $300 it's a buy on site. I will tell you, like I said, I've seen people. It's been packages, man. You got to buy 4 bottles of Wheatley, and then you get this. Or I don't.
That's so rude.
I know. I don't need 4 bottles of Wheatley sitting around my house. I'll never drink it. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, give us something we can use.
Right. But I definitely would not pay secondary.
This is I used to pair it with other bourbons.
Right. Yeah. But there's no reason to go pay $500 for this bottle.
Oh no.
It's just that.
Oh no.
I don't know that I would pay $500 for any bottle.
I'm sure you got a friend that's got one. Come on.
Yeah, they are dropping in big quantities. Man, I'm telling you that Walgreens I rolled through today had an entire case.
I'm telling you right now, if this shows up in my store and I get a case of this, I'll be blown away. I don't want to.
You never got the 13s.
Yeah,
you never got the 13s. It's kind of hit or miss.
They were supposed to come. There's another story for another day.
But I do know that here locally, a ton of the independent stores are getting them in big quantities. One of the stores locally is called Legacy. They were selling it for SRP, $250, but you had to spend $100 in the store. So you're spending $350 regardless.
I have a Legacy story for you too.
And I know that they've hit out in like Angel's Liquor in Daytona had a case. I believe Bronson's got their case. So they are 100% landing in quantity. I wouldn't run over your grandmother to go get one. And I definitely wouldn't for a $350 package or some kind of BS like that. But overall, fantastic pour, especially if you like old whiskey.
And on that note, my friends, we're going to get out of here. Listen, you can find it and you want it, go get it. Don't overpay.
Don't overpay.
Don't overpay.
Don't overpay.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. We love you guys. Hope you love us. And we're going to drink one for you. So drink one for us. And we'll see you on the next one. And after the video, there'll be a quick snippet of the man's new liquor cabinet.
Oh, yeah. We can introduce